Manual mode, aperture priority mode, or even auto. Which mode should you shoot in? In today's video, I'm going to share with you the one I think you should shoot in depending on the skills that you have and how long you've been exposed. Hi, my name is Carbell Sarfo. I help you take amazing photos and videos with whichever equipment that you own. So if that sounds like you, consider subscribing, and then let's jump into the video. You see, the very first time I held the Nikon 3400 in my hand, that was my first professional camera. And when I held that camera in my hand, I knew nothing about a camera. So what did I do next? I jumped to YouTube, watching countless hours of YouTube videos, how to set this camera up. I didn't even know what the exposure triangle was, and I was just trying to find how to just take pictures. So by then, the mode that literally made sense to me was auto mode. I didn't know what shutter speed was. I didn't know what aperture was. I didn't know what ISO was. I didn't know the effect. I didn't know what if I changed one, how it impacted the others, and how it even impacted the whole image in the whole. So I just jumped into auto mode, and I was just pointing my camera, shooting, and I was getting okay pictures. I was happy with what I was getting actually. It served me super well. But today I shoot most of my pictures, all of my pictures in manual mode, just because I've been able to build that skill for how many years now. I've been able to hone that skill when it comes to handling a camera. It doesn't matter the camera that you give me. I've shot with Canon cameras, I've shot with Sony cameras, I've shot with Nikon cameras, and realized that all of them I end up going to manual, not because of anything, but because of where I've been able to build my skill in. You might not be very confident with manual mode yet. In fact, probably you've been shooting in auto for a year now and you are still shooting in auto. And auto is great. It will serve you very well. The AI is just getting better all the time. It's able to analyze the scene and then make the best prediction for you in terms of what will be quality exposure for the scene that the image is shooting. But the thing is that if you are just starting out, I would advise you shoot in auto, but you have it in your mind that you want to work your way up slowly so you can fully understand and grasp whatever setting is happening on your camera, so that you can be able to make art. Photography is art, not just the science. The science is there, but it's actually art. So you want to be able to work your way up. So if you are just starting out like me some years past, start in auto mode. But every time you shoot, this is what you do. Look at the setting that the camera chose for that scene. What was the ISO? What was the shutter speed the camera used? And what was the aperture the camera used? And then try to think about it. Why would the camera use this? And is the image that you even shot satisfactory? Are you happy with the outcome of that image? You're going to ask yourself these questions every time you use auto mode, right? So that you try to see around the ballpark. So when the camera sees this kind of scenes, the camera tends to use these settings. I should probably be also using the settings. If the images that come out from that settings is super great, please use. So next time you can put it in manual and then you set it to that particular setting. That is how I built the muscle to manual mode. Because by setting, allowing auto first, auto will just take a picture, and if the picture is well exposed and it's sharp, I look at the setting that the camera used, and then I learn it, so that next time I'm able to also repeat such setting. And then that is what I use for a very pretty, maybe say a few months, until I switch to the next mode, which is aperture priority mode. Now, aperture priority is quite different than auto mode. It's close to auto but very different. In here you have the option to set two things: your ISO and your aperture. Usually you can leave the ISO at auto, but I would advise that you take control of the ISO. Most cameras tend to push the ISO high when it's in auto mode, and that can usually introduce noise to you if you don't want noise in your images. So I would advise that you take control of the ISO, and then also you take control of the aperture. Then that way the camera controls just one thing: the shutter speed. So if I see, depending on what I have in the frame, so if I'm just shooting one person, I will use the maximum aperture, which is the lowest possible value, so f1.8, depending on the lens that you are shooting in, and then I'll try to blur out the background, and the camera will just look at that scene, the aperture, the ISO, and the scene that I have, and the camera will set the shutter speed to match and probably expose my image. So with that, I also started learning, oh okay, which shutter speeds at this aperture works. Now that I have my ISO nailed, I'll see, oh, so when I have one person like that and I have this kind of amount of light and I use the aperture of 1.8, the camera tends to use shutter speed of 1/25 or 1/125 or 1/200. Oh, okay. And that is also me gradually learning and working my way to the manual. So I shot Aperture Priority for a very long time. If I have, say, a group photo with, say, 4, 5, 6, 7 people, I'll probably use somewhere between f2.8 to f4 or f3.5 to f4, around that zone, and the camera will match the shutter speed for me to get evenly exposed image. So that I'll also look at it and try to see what did the camera use and why did the camera use that. That is all I did. I promise you, that is all I did. Simple like that. And I started learning. You have to be able to learn. Like it's a transition. You don't just start from a camera fresh and start shooting in manual mode and be watching videos and you will struggle. You have to work your way up like that, and by doing so, you are learning how the camera itself is even making the decisions by itself, and then you can be able to also now be able to hone it and then shoot the way that you want. Photography is an art, and just like any art, you have to keep stroking to be able to get your way there. And then finally, I switched to manual. My switch to manual was actually funny because with me, I rented a camera for a graduation shoot for my colleagues and even on my graduation day. And the funny thing is that the camera that I rented, the person had glued it to manual mode. I think he had a fault with the camera and I didn't know. So when I went to the graduation day, I was looking to take it to Aperture Priority and do my usual, and guess what? It was stuck in manual. Do you know what that means? I'm stuck in manual. So immediately, but the thing is that because I've been learning the way I've been learning. I've been like, that gradual process. It helped me so much. So I just looked at the scene and I was able to just put the settings in. I take one shot, I look at it, I realize that this is maybe bright. I adjust and shoot because I was shooting on a DSLR, not a mirrorless camera. So I'll quickly adjust like that. And in no time, I was taking super amazing and super comfortable photos in manual. And when I made a jump from DSLRs to mirrorless cameras, it was even better because with this one, when I'm changing my camera settings there on the exposure settings, I can actually see it impact my image in real time on the LCDs or even on my viewfinder. So that was super amazing, and that helped me. And that was how I was able to make my way from taking the camera, knowing nothing about the exposure triangle, learning about it, and then once again getting straight into shooting in manual. And in manual, I'm able to shoot many types of photos, blurry photos, time lapse. I'm able to shoot any type of photo that I want, long exposures, and because now photography is an art to me, and manual helps me express myself in that form. Auto will do its best for you to help you expose your images. Aperture Priority is better than auto, but manual is where you can get the freedom to shoot the type of photo that you want for the mood that you want to convey and make the art that you want to do. So work your way up, but make sure you consciously keep learning. Keep learning. If you like this video, you also like this one that I made about how I set up my space here. I think you should start making content, and this video will help you set up a space like this, whatever equipment that you have. This is a ring light actually, so it's not fancy, it's simple. Catch you in that one. Peace.